After hours of theorizing and digging for any clues that I could find, I finally believe that I know the origin of the new character Trip, and underneath her coy persona lies something truly dark. After the trio of Trouble Short was released, my mind has constantly been wrapped around this mural, trying to figure out what secrets it holds and what it means for our new character. Why do the figures portrayed here look like her, and what is the ominous creature in the center? I went back to previous interviews to see if I could piece together any information, but first, who and or what is Trip? Being the newest character, there is a surprising amount of lore behind her. Naoto Oshima said in an interview with Game Informer that, quote, "We don't just want to have a character with no background, with nothing going on that's just going to boop pop up in the world. We really want to show a character with some kind of unique characteristics, some character backgrounds, some storytelling elements that are going to make the character unique and stand out, and be a character that people can kind of relate to and empathize with and enjoy as a character in the world, not just because they're there, but because they mean something to the world." This quote is really important to understanding the character of Trip, especially the last part. She is in this story because she has meaning to the world of the game. She isn't just some random villain tossed in to pose a threat, but rather has purpose beyond that. Now, the next thing that I want to bring up from this interview is the design of Trip herself. Oshima says that the ideas they came up with for Trip's theme and her character actions were an armored lizard and the Ouroboros. So let's dissect this. We know that Trip is a Sungazer lizard. An interesting note that I really want you to keep in the back of your mind is that another name for the Sungazer lizard is the giant dragon lizard. So now we know Trip is a lizard in armor, but more specifically, ancient armor from a long-gone civilization. In the short Trio of Trouble, Eggman comes across a mural that depicts an ancient civilization that once harnessed the power of the Chaos Emeralds. The people depicted in this mural are donning the very same armor as Trip herself, so in some way, Trip has a connection to this lost civilization. She could have once been part of it, much like Knuckles and his Echidna tribe, or perhaps she is a descendant of them. Now, let's break down the next part, as Oshima said that what they wanted for her theme was the Ouroboros. This is a symbol that's depicted by a serpent, or in many cases, a dragon eating its own tail. This is the second time that in her design, dragons appear. The Ouroboros is interpreted as a cycle of life, death, and rebirth. Going back to the mural, we can see in the middle of the Chaos Emeralds, there's an ancient creature depicted, and while it's hard to make out what exactly it is from our perspective, at the end of the Trio of Trouble Short, Eggman reveals his sketch, showing us a mighty dragon. If we pull all this information together, it paints an interesting story. Now, none of this is confirmed, however, I believe that Trip was once part of this ancient civilization, which watched over the Chaos Emeralds. Now, whether it's through the use of all 7 Chaos Emeralds, or some other supernatural means, Trip, or an ancestor of hers, transformed into a powerful and dark dragon, wiping out her home and people. Just like the themes of the Ouroboros, with the dragon eating its own tail, this cycle was reset, and now Trip, once again, might transform into her mighty dragon form. From the end of the Trio of Trouble Short, we know that Eggman seeks to awaken the Great Dragon once again, so we could see a scenario where Eggman forces Trip to transform into this state in order to beat Sonic. I say force because the interesting part about her character is that she doesn't seem to be inherently evil like Eggman. We're given hints of this all throughout the short, as Trip sees beauty in life and even cares about the guardian serpent that she helped Fang take down. She's clumsy but wants to help Eggman and Fang achieve their goals. I think that Trip is being pulled along in their schemes, not truly knowing their evil intents. It might very well be a Knuckles situation where she thinks she is helping but instead is being used. Once Eggman gets her in this dragon form, I believe it will be too late, as it seems she would have no control over her own actions. That's just my current theory given what little evidence we've seen up till this point, but let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Is this theory likely, or am I way off base? Thank you all for the support I've been seeing on this channel. It's really encouraging, and I'm striving to bring you guys the best content that I can. Check out the video here for more on Superstars, and as always guys, peace.